All right, welcome to Keeping Runners on the Road. I'm Mark, this is Melody. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about wearables. And we're going to do a little disclaimer here. We're not going to go into specifics on any one wearable, but just kind of the category of them as a whole and where they can be useful and where they're maybe not as useful. So to start off, I guess, how have you used wearables? Like, how have they benefited your training?
Yeah, well, first of all, and I would say this is one of the biggest benefits of wearables, is they just have made me more aware of how much I'm moving. So, a Fitbit or a Garmin, that's what I've used is Fitbit, and then I switched to Garmin, is, they'll tell you to move once an hour, which sometimes is really
so
annoying.
Good, but sometimes it's bad. On my last watch, I just turned them off. I was like, stop making fun of me. Watch.
Yeah,
I know I need to move more.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
But it's especially knowing when you're like driving in the car and you're like, I can't move right now.
I am moving, just not walking.
Yeah. So that's really nice. So having that reminder, really nice / annoying. It also is really great for tracking sleep. So it has been nice to see like, oh man, I'm feeling really tired. Oh, it's because I've been averaging like 5 hours of sleep every night. I should probably work on that. So that's been nice. And also, like, I'm a nerd and it's really fun to like look at all the numbers and like, I don't know how accurate everything is. Probably not the most accurate, but it is fun to see like, oh, like my estimated VO2 max. And something that I really love about my Garmin right now is it tells me when sunrise is and when sundown is, so I can kind of plan my runs.
There you go. See, that's nice.
And it also tells me the weather. So like right now it's 30 degrees outside and it's snowing. So that just makes it a lot more convenient than having to get on my computer and look up what the weather's going to be like. And I can look for the weather for the next day. So it's really convenient in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. Obviously, a lot of runners like it.
For sure. Well, and I think just to be more aware of what we're doing and kind of how we're living on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. One of the things my watch will always do is give me insights. And it's like, you're moving much more than a typical Wednesday. Cool. Thanks for judging me again. But no, I think like you said, right, it gives us extra data and you can kind of nerd out to whatever level you want. And so it's great that it gives us extra data, but that can also be the downside, right, is that it gives us so much data. And I think one of the maybe downsides of wearables is that we get so lost in the minutia of what are my numbers here, that we lose the bigger picture of what should be going on with our training and paying attention to how we're actually feeling in our own body versus just looking at the data our wearables are telling us at any given moment.
Exactly. And everything that our watch does, it's all based off of like your average height, weight, age, and based off of the activity level you put, whether it's light, moderate, vigorous, right? So
right.
It can't, you don't know like how accurate this information is to you and your body. So it's really important to like do your research and to understand your body. And that's why the metabolic tests that we do are so important. So you can get your customized heart rate zones. But I don't know, you just want to be careful. If you're a recreational runner and I don't know, like maybe you don't have any like huge goals of like getting first place in the Boston Marathon, like, and it's going to help you be active and get out the door, then sure,
Definitely.
follow the numbers and do it. But if you're looking for major fitness gains, and if you have some major goals like that, you need to do a little bit more research and have a little bit more education on the numbers and why the watch is telling you to do what it's telling you to do.
Right. And so I think the best way to kind of express their most useful, or when wearables are the most useful, are when we're using the data to make decisions versus the wearables making the decisions for us, right?
Yes.
And so again, like you said, if we're using it for just general fitness, that can be really great, right? Mm-hmm. And it's okay, right? That bell curve, like we can use the data pretty well in that way just for general fitness. But again, like you said, if we want to hit those performance gains, then we need to be able to dial in things specific to our data. Mm-hmm. And so that's where doing the research, reaching out to someone that can help you interpret those numbers and kind of plan those into your routines, that's where it becomes really beneficial. Mm-hmm. Obviously we've talked about watches. There's tons of other wearables, right? You have your chest straps, you have cadence sensors that you can strap onto your shoe. Some of the more recent sensors include some indirect measures of impact force, right? So you can kind of measure that. And definitely we're going to see more and more of wearables and just, in the general trend of the Internet of Things, right? Those are going to get more popular. We're going to have more things. Again, a lot more data, which can be really useful. But only insofar as we know what to do with that data. I think another really useful thing is in combining it with a couple of other measures in directing our training and kind of the load that we're taking in and building into. So in a previous video, we mentioned the recent editorial in JOSPT that talked about why running by mileage might not always be the best idea. And they talked about a couple other measures to go by. And that includes the RPE, right? How hard am I working in a given session, along with duration. And so combining those two, they found can be really helpful in allowing ourselves to get in the training that we need, but doing so in such a way that our bodies can absorb the load. And so adding some of that biometric data, right? Some of those the things that the wearables will tell us into that can give us a better overall picture of how we're feeling, what our recovery looks like, how our body's responding to the training, right? I think that's where that data fits in a really nice, convenient, and useful way to help us make the best decisions. And I think this goes for anything in training, right? There's no one tool that's going to perfect your training. There's no one tool that's going to take you to the best performance. It's using multiple tools in your disposal to really build the best plan for you. And so that's where that data can really come in and be useful, not as just an end all be all, right? This is what my watch told me, this is what my sensor told me, right? And that's going to direct my training decisions. It's one more tool that we bring in to help us make educated decisions in terms of building the best fitness and improving our performance to the level that we want to improve it to.
For sure. And just like any tool, you need to learn how to use it, right?
Yeah. So definitely, if you have any questions about that, drop that in the comments below. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, etc., all the other things.
Yeah. Also, tell us, what is your go-to wearable? Are you Suunto, Garmin, Fitbit? What do you like to use? Put that in the comments below.
Yes, love it. So thanks for joining us for this week's episode, and we'll catch you next time.